Okay, welcome back to Empire of the Sun. We're supposed to be on turn four, but before we go into turn four, just some cleanup on turn three. Uh, the last time we were together, the Rangoon had just fallen. The Japanese had two more cards, and the Allies had one extra card. And so, what happened was it was the Allies' turn to move or to play a card, and I decided to play a card, which is the Operational Watchtower card, into the FO. And then the Japanese took two turns, or took two card plays in a row. The first one he played what did he play? He played a Japanese Central Agreement card, which is an anti-ISR card, gave him 2 points. He took the 2 points and used them for operations. And then went ahead and did a landing here at Vogelkop. So he finally took Vogelkop. And then he also went up here, rearranged some guys and so on and so forth. Then his next turn, or next card, he played this card, which is the IBM card, which allows him 2 air replacements. Again, he used it for the points. And went after these guys, this army down here, these two Chinese and Burmese divisions, basically wiping out what's left of the the Burmese defense forces. Um, Honestly, not sure if we should have played this. He probably could have used the air replacements, right? Um, he's got, yeah, he doesn't have air replacements, so he should have. I don't think it would have not been a bad idea for him to back the replacements and then just hang on to the Central Agreement card and put that in his FO. Uh, Not really sure if this is a good idea or not, but he did do that. And so he attacked this, and that's basically it. It was basically I missed the intel roll, and the air naval was strong enough to flip to eliminate the 312 unit. The 24 gives him a full result, or half. Wait, I think there's a half result. If I'm not mistaken. 4 is a half result, and so +3 for surprise. Yes, that's right. He had a surprise attack. 7 full result, which basically knocks out the Fifth Army, which is the Chinese unit that was here. So that's pretty much an auto kill for him. So that's it. And that's it for the cards, and that's it for turn 3. And you can see forward that you had the political phase, which of course I think the Philippines has already surrendered from before. Okay, I think I did some attrition and basically flipped the Darwin count unit and these Australian units. This is really funny because a lot of people are saying, well, why would they be out of supply? They're in their own home countries. But remember that you have to trace to an HQ and activate you, which can activate you. In this case, they don't exist, so because of that, you flip. I think Mark Herman once said that people have criticized that rule so that these Australian units, even though they're Australian, are out of supply. I think he basically waved his hand and said, well, let's pretend that they got sent to Africa or something, I don't know, to fight in the Africa Corps. Okay, but that's basically what happened there. And so the attrition, and Malaya finally has fallen, and that's it. That's it for turn 3. Move on to turn 4. Okay, so the Allied reinforcement replacements. Not very interesting. The Australians, basically the Anzac came here. Some Australian and New Zealand division came over there. Then you have these British units, which made their way up to Burma. Okay. Okay, then I brought in my reinforcements, my naval reinforcements, North Carolina, the Wasp. And instead of moving them to Bougainville, I actually moved them here to Darwin in Australia. And my thinking at that time was that I wanted to create a threat. I have the advantage in carrier air power, so I wasn't really worried about that. So I could spare the Wasp and put him down here. The idea being is that I wanted to have a force down here to make him think about whether I had to, he'd have to deploy forces to the south, to Dutch East Indies. He just puts pressure here, so it doesn't, he can't just have it, and you just, I would have these forces here to make landings down here in Celebes or in Timor or something like that for the progress of the war. Remember that it's turn 4, so we have to start making progress of the war now. Okay, so one of our 14th Air Force LRB unit got sent to Europe. Okay, unfortunately. So, okay, sorry. We took our replacements. Okay, sorry, this is taking forever. All right, so we went ahead and drew our 7-card hand. I wanted to show these to you. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to show this to you. This is this is an interesting card. This is the ISR card, the anti-ISR card. Oops, where did it go? Where did she go? Oh, sorry. Whoops. Nope, that's not it. Here, this is the one. Sorry. Not this one. Go away. Okay, so that's a card that we have. We also have this card, Heroic Repair, which allows us to instantly repair some of our carriers should they be damaged. This allows us to be a little bit more aggressive with our carriers if we wanted to, because worst comes to worst, we can get one of the carriers back immediately. We have this card, which is Operation Oboe. We have this card, Operation Detachment, which is Iwo Jima. Okay. We have this one card, which is Roosevelt threatens Chongqing, China offensive card, and Operation Cherry Blossom, which is Bougainville landing, and finally this very important card, at least late in the game, Soviets invade Manchuria. Okay, just to show you a little bit what I'm thinking of the cards here at this point. Obviously, one of the cards that has to be played for the event is anti-ISR card. Get out of ISR card. Get out of ISR card, which is the Roosevelt Nimitz MacArthur card, ends our U.S. Army Navy dispute. It says that if the card is played for the event that we can have the option of getting rid of a card and replacing it with another from the discard pile. And I was thinking, that's probably going for us going to be this card here, which is pretty useless. Not, I don't really remember what we used to in the discard pile to replace it, but I'm pretty sure I played this card first when my turn came up. Okay. You might say, gee, that's a lot of, we have a lot of military events, but not really. I think it's a little deceptive. Obviously, Soviets invade Manchuria can only be used as a 3 card right now. Um, Heroic Repair is a good card to have, and I think it ended up in the FO for me just in case I needed it later on. You might say I have a lot of military event cards, but not really because um, one the only really military events that I could really use are this one, the Oboe card, Australians invade Borneo. And even then, I can only use air and naval air and naval units. Only Australian. The only ground units I can use are Australian. If I use this for the event as a military card, and it's only a 2 card. And the other one that I have that I can use as a military event is Operation Cherry Blossom, Bougainville Landing. For Bougainville, it's NEHQ, logical, the value is 5, and cruisers have 2 added to their attack strength, which is nice, but not really that big a deal for us. So, so those are the only 2 cards I can really use. The other cards are not so great because even the Operation Detachment Iwo Jima card has a condition that in order for me to use this as an event, I have to have an allied ground unit must make an amphib move to a hex within 10 hexes of Tokyo. That's not going to happen. So that's going to only be used as a 3 card, as a ops card. It's not going to be used as a military event. And so it's it's okay. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. And remember, we have to make progress of the war. I think we have to take 3, which is what we have equivalent to what we have. Uh, it has to be equivalent to the number of ASPs that we have. We have 3 points. All right, so we have that. We have so the Japanese have to take their replacements and their reinforcements and take their first turn. All right, so we'll do that when we get back. Thank you.